Oh, apparently when you overwrite stuff, it starts automatically. Okay, when I left the Orthodox Church, I guess Christianity altogether, angry, didn't believe, professed disbelief, stuff like that. nobody nobody called me a Zionist. They didn't claim that I was working for the Jews. They didn't. My priest didn't come out and tell the public every little bad thing they did. They didn't shun me. They didn't do any of those horrible things. Would I be treated the same way if I left Scientology or Mormonism? No. If you leave Mormonism, that's it. Not particularly leaving Mormonism, it's if you convert to another faith also, because they still consider you Mormon as long as you're nothing else. If I were to become, let's say, since the parish disbanded, if I were to start going to an Anglican church, you would say, they would still talk to me. They'd say, oh, you should come back to Orthodox and talk about it. There'd be open discussion. If anything else, they'd still talk to me. When I was reading the Satanic Bible, there was one of my friends said, I don't know, I don't want to be around that stuff, this and that. That was her personal thing, that wasn't usual. But everyone else still talked to me. That's probably what gave me the ability to come back. Scientology and Mormonism, this wouldn't happen. Scientology, my priest would be telling all the sins that I confessed. Every bad thing that I did before or even during, they'd paste everywhere. The Mormons would totally shut me out. If you're a Mormon and you start going to a Christian church and get baptized, your friends and your family are gone. And what else is similar about Scientology and Mormonism? Uh, Everyone in that organization will say that never happens. Never happens until they themselves leave. And they say, oh, absolutely, it did happen. These places are breeding grounds for liars because it doesn't. They both present the image, are built on the image of the good white American, and it's surprising that there are black people and, well, surprisingly black people in Mormonism, but black people, Mexicans, and Asians in Scientology too, because L. Ron Hubbard was a bigot too. Quoted, I'm quoting him. These aren't my words. He told his wife in a letter to, you shouldn't be cleaning up the house. Get yourself a nigger. That's what they're there for. Yeah, that's their leader. That's their great messiah. Um, the they both are organizations that breed liars, corruption. They both started out with murder, treachery, treason. Mormonism was ready to go to war with the United States. Brigham Young ordered the massacre of over 130 innocent men, women, children. L. Ron Hubbard had people shot on his boat. I mean, this stuff still goes on today. It's creepy, and I mean, you think somebody totally out of their mind for talking about it, but it's crazy. And two things. I mean, and other marks of it, and I consider any Christian church that does this to be sick, or any programs. It wouldn't taint a whole organization, though. I mean, the bigger ones largely would not do this. The gay situation, we have to fix them. I mean, even if you believe it's a sin, okay, that's one person. That's not a no. For them, it's very important because it defies the whole family image. When if you look at it's blind selfishness of, oh, you're personally offended by somebody else. It offends you. It's a treachery. I mean, this is disgusting. The marks of these cults, they all run the same. And I haven't looked into Kingdom Hall Jehovah's Witness, Bible Tract Society, the Watchtower organization, but you have to imagine it's probably along similar lines. But if you look at the similarity between these two groups, and I'm just not even talking theology here. I mean, I could go on about their theology, but just the way they act and the way they treat people. They have this image of we're so wholesome and good, we're family oriented, and then they will destroy and break up families. I mean, what happens if a wife or a husband converts to a different religion? Do they say stick with them? Marriage is till the grave? No, they don't. They, immediately gone. Take the children. Never see them again. That person's toxic for you, even though you deeply loved this person. When they're up overnight, boom. Now they may put up a little struggle and try to keep the person in for a couple of weeks, but after that they're cut off. These organizations need to be stopped, and there's Anonymous for Scientology, which is very good. But I hope another organization. I know Anonymous. It's good that they stay pure against Scientology and don't branch out and other stuff. But we need another organization for Mormonism too, because both of them wield so much money. If you look at their people that are the head of the organizations, those are the money wielders. It's ridiculous. All the prophets of Mormonism are businessmen. Weren't all the prophets of Israel? Wasn't there Amos who worked in a field and other ones were poor, and I think it was either Isaiah or Ezekiel that went out naked for a while, and I mean they didn't follow these images. Jeremiah wasn't married. Back in the day, if you weren't married, you couldn't be a rabbi. But Jeremiah, not married, went out did his thing. But no, these cults, unless you need to have a business suit on to be part of it. Ridiculous. But you could be anybody. No, you'd be the exception. You'd be looked down on if you were any different in those cults. And that's why I can call them cults. So we'll look at your own churches, and they have crazy beliefs. They do that. No, yeah, look at how they act and treat each other. That's all you need to look at. Theology, but when you're talking about cults, like in a society, and dangerous things, this is how people commit suicide. Well, I mean, if my whole family turned against me, all my family and friends went, probably put a gun in my mouth, blow my brains out. That, or I just wouldn't leave. So how honest are the beliefs of these people? You have Mike Rinder and Marty Rathbone, who are spokespeople, who were high up left and said, I hated it. It was miserable in it. You hear the same stuff in Mormonism too. It's disgusting. And we can't. I used to argue with Mormons no more because I can't. It's not on the same level. I know that kind of sounds elitist, but when I'm talking to somebody who thinks naturally, who needs to, who by their, I wouldn't say naturally, it's unnatural, is looking down on me. You're not as good as me. So why debate with these people? And you can disprove everything in Mormonism, all the crazy shit that they believe. But yeah, it's useless debates with these people. It's wicked. Look at the way they treat people. Horrible, disgusting. My drug use. Nobody kicked me out of orthodoxy. They said you probably need to take communion more. Instead of you're unfit to come forth. Yeah, you probably need you need the church. Keep coming here. It's good. If you're honest, come on. Like a family trying to give you a hug. Come closer to us. Don't go out with the no the other people. Shit, you need to be here and you can't. It's disgusting. Is that how is since God is love? Is that how you're supposed to act? But I don't use the teachings of Joseph Smith or of L. Ron Hubbard or David Miscavige. I use teachings first started by Jesus Christ, continued by the saints. Now, in my church, Francis Assisi is not one of my saints. I don't know much about him, but I've heard prayers that he wrote. Good, loving things. So there is good stuff in the Western churches too, I'd have to imagine. So and I don't think a Buddhist would, or a Hindu would kind of treat. I think a lot of that's cultural for them to reject you. So, no. Scientology, Mormonism, not religions, cults. Because they act like it. They may have a religious part in them. That's it. I mean, it's a fragment. It's a drop of fresh water into the ocean, which is all salt water. It's poisonous to drink. It might taste good, it might quench your thirst initially, but it will kill you. And that's what disgusts me about this cult. So I don't care about how crazy. Everybody has crazy beliefs. Whatever. Just look at how they treat you. Sick. Peace. And hopefully, one day, people won't be divorcing their spouses because they've changed their mind on a deep personal theological issue.